Hi everybody, quick reminder, don't forget to check out the on-screen end cards towards the end of the video, as well as the merch shelf and links down in the description below to explore my new Outcast comic book series. And I just have to say that I genuinely appreciate all of the support that's been shown for this new adventure. Now let's dive in to Major Force. This character's real name is Clifford Zmeck, and he's a formidable supervillain appearing in DC Comics, created by writers Cary Bates and Greg Weisman, alongside artist Pat Broderick. The character made his explosive debut in Captain Atom Volume 2, issue number 12, that was released in February of 1988. Major Force was explicitly designed to serve as a dark sociopathic foil to Captain Atom, aka Nathaniel Atom. And while both characters acquired their extraordinary abilities through the exact same government-sponsored military experiments, their moral frameworks could not be further apart. Where Captain Atom struggles to maintain his humanity and serve his country honorably, Major Force represents the absolute worst outcomes of weaponizing a sociopath. And to be honest with you, this dude, in my opinion, is one of the worst, most savage characters in DC, hands down. Now, dude already started off as pretty big, because when he was in his normal human form, he already stood 6 feet 5 inches tall and weighed 260 pounds, having blue eyes and brown hair. But since he was empowered, his abilities are immense, pulling energy directly from the quantum field. And his most defining physical trait is his metallic Dilustel skin, which grants him near total invulnerability to physical strikes and energy blasts. He also possesses vast superhuman strength, allowing him to trade blows with heavy hitters like Captain Atom, Shazam, Firestorm, and even Superman. But his powers do differ from Captain Atom, because unlike the Cap, who manipulates the lighter spectrum of the quantum domain, Major Force primarily commands dark matter and dark energy. He can project devastating concussive blasts of atomic energy from his hands, manipulate matter on a molecular scale, fly at vast speeds, and he even developed the ability to transmute other materials and change his own body. Now, because his consciousness is fundamentally tied to the immortal energies of the quantum field, Major Force is functionally immortal. Even when his Dilustel shell is ruptured, which by the way causes cataclysmic leaks of atomic radiation, his physical form can eventually be reconstituted by government operations or dark science, ensuring that he remains an eternal nuclear threat to the DC cosmos. Now, before becoming a nuclear-powered psychopath, Clifford Zmeck was a disgraced soldier in the US Air Force. He was court-martialed and sentenced to life in a high-security prison for heinous crimes, including the SA and murder of a woman. His path would eventually cross with the unscrupulous General Wade Eiling, who was heading the clandestine government initiative known as Project Atom. And following the apparent demise and disappearance of Nathaniel Atom during the initial experiment, Eiling sought a new test subject. This is when Zmeck was offered an absolute presidential pardon under one condition: volunteer for a highly volatile, near-suicidal scientific experiment involving alien metals and nuclear energy. But wouldn't you know it, Zmeck agreed, and scientists bonded a thick, triple-layer coating of a nearly indestructible alien metallic alloy called Dilustel to his skin before detonating a hydrogen bomb directly over him. The sheer force of the nuclear blast catapulted Zmeck into the quantum field. He would materialize a year after Captain Atom's return, transformed into a living atomic weapon. The government, fully aware of Zmeck's deeply unstable and violent tendencies, secretly implanted micro-explosives beneath his malleable metallic skin to ensure compliance. Initially marketed to the public as a government-sanctioned superhero named Major Force, Zmeck's intrinsic cruelty and bloodlust quickly betrayed his manufactured heroic persona, driving him into direct conflict with Captain Atom and the broader superhero community. Now, while Major Force began as Captain Atom's arch-nemesis, his most notorious and culturally significant storyline occurred within the pages of Green Lantern Volume 3, issue number 54, that was released in 1994. Being hired by a shadowy government cartel called the Quorum to terrorize the newly appointed Green Lantern Kyle Rayner, Major Force committed an act of staggering brutality, which was very reminiscent of his initial crimes. He would sneak into the apartment of Kyle's girlfriend, Alex DeWitt, took her out via strangulation, and then stuffed her remains into a kitchen refrigerator for Rayner to discover later. All with a nice, sweet note to go along with it. This specific, horrific plot point became a watershed moment in comic book history, inspiring acclaimed writer Gail Simone to coin the term women in refrigerators, or fridging. The trope highlights a recurring narrative pattern in media where female characters are disproportionately injured, tortured, or taken out solely to serve as a catalyst for a male protagonist's tragic backstory and character development. Major Force would once again later repeat this horrific methodology by targeting Guy Gardner's loved ones and taking out the alien Green Lantern, Arisia Rab, cementing his reputation as one of the most genuinely detestable, sadistic mercenaries in the DC universe. Now, for his powers and abilities and his influence on the DC universe, for my 1 to 10 rating, I'll give Major Force a rating of 8, which is an unforgettable rating. I hope everyone enjoyed this video. I'll talk to you next time. Be sure to like, hype, and subscribe to The New Sage.